Hi friends, welcome to Civil Architecture Tutorials. The subject today is regarding the gypsum plaster. All the professionals in the civil industry might have heard about the gypsum plaster, but the layman, I mean the people who are going to make some small houses for the more such retail people may not have heard much about this gypsum plaster. So we will discuss in detail about this. Some 10 or 15 years back, it was not in the industry. We are always going for plastering. We are laying only upon the cement plaster, which consists of cement, sand, and water in different proportions, like 1:3, 1:4, 1:6, etc. Depends upon whether you are going to plaster on the wall or on the ceiling. In gypsum, it is not like that. Around within a 10 year span, this gypsum plaster comes to the industry, and nowadays the big projects means hotels or high-rise buildings, all of them are using the gypsum plaster instead of cement plaster in the interiors. I'm not talking about the exterior. Exterior still we are using the cement plaster, but for all the interiors, rooms and hallways, everywhere inside the plastering is being done by gypsum plaster because it takes not much time when compared to the cement plaster. Gypsum plaster is the chemical component is calcium sulfate, CaSO4. The gypsum plaster is a kind of a revolution happening in the industry nowadays, and because of that we can save a lot of time, cost and labor in our project. And this one is a pre-mixed and ready mixed lightweight gypsum plaster. So now we will go into the advantages of using gypsum plaster. Gypsum plaster gives us a very smooth and fine surface which is almost even in linoles. And the other property is that once the room is being done by gypsum plaster, thermal conductivity is very less when compared to the room is being plastered by cement plaster. That means the cement plaster will take the heat outside to inside, but gypsum plaster will not take. The property of that gypsum will not take it. And regarding the fire resistant quality of gypsum is also very high. Up to 3 hours, the gypsum will not take fire into it. After that, it will break. So that is another second quality of gypsum plaster when compared to the cement plaster. About the acoustic quality, that means it is almost act like a soundproof. The gypsum has got an acoustic quality also. The sound will be absorbed into the gypsum when compared to the cement plaster. And since gypsum being a lightweight material, the total dead load of the building will be very less when compared to the dead load of the building which is being plastered by the cement. So dead load weight will be very less, acoustic property is there, fire resistant property is there, and the conductivity, the heat conductivity into the room is very less. That means it makes the room cool when compared to the cement plastered surfaces. One of the important quality of gypsum plaster is that there is no heat of hydration for this gypsum plaster when compared to the cement plaster. Cement plaster, as you know, cement has got heat of hydration. So once you do the cement plaster, there is no curing has been done properly, then there is always a chance for some cracks being formed in the plaster. But this is not a point for the gypsum plaster. When we are doing the cement plaster, we need to first pre-cure the surface before applying this cement plaster, but that is not necessary for this gypsum plaster. And for applying the cement plaster we need a rough surface, which is not mandatory for the gypsum plaster. It can apply on rough or smooth surface. And regarding the curing part, cement plaster needs pre-curing and post-curing. Post-curing means the cement plaster, after applying the cement, it requires at least 7 to 14 days for curing, and then only it will attain its strength. But and setting time is also very high. At least it takes 3 hours to set, while in the gypsum plaster it takes only 30 minutes to set, and we can apply primer after 3 days. So that means gaining lot of days when comparing to the cement plaster area. So gypsum plaster will take less curing time, less setting time, and it requires less labor, and the cost of the gypsum plaster is around 10 rupees per square feet, or with the labor it will come to 25 to 28 rupees per square feet. Cement plaster, after application, after curing of that cement plaster area, we need to apply putty, and then only we can apply primer and the paint. But in gypsum plaster, we don't need to apply putty. Sometimes some people are applying a little putty on it also to make it even at some areas. If it is not, the workmanship is not so good, then they are applying it, but it is not necessary actually. Without applying putty, you just need to sandpaper it, and then you can directly apply the primer and paint in gypsum plaster. So the putty quantity, putty is not at all necessary, you just need to sandpaper it. But in cement you need putty also. So the material has been added to the that plaster more when compared to the gypsum plaster. So that means the cost of material, labor, time, everything is waste in cement plaster when compared to the gypsum plaster. So nowadays it is not so popular, but it is becoming popular in big projects, but it's not so popular in small residences work. I didn't see that, but in Kerala, those who know it, they are doing that too. So these are some of the quantities, some of the qualities of gypsum plaster and the advantages of gypsum plaster over cement plaster. One more thing I want to add in today's video is that while we are plastering a surface, whether it is by cement plaster or by gypsum plaster, we know that there is a junction between the lintel and the wall surface. There we need to put some mesh, chicken mesh, whether it is fiber or MS steel, we need to put it. So along with that, when we are plastering that beam area or column area, which are RCC structures, people need to hack that area, so that they are making it a rough area by hacking, so that the cement plaster will apply on it easily. Usually how they are doing is that when they remove the shuttering, the second day itself they are doing the hacking work on ceiling or on columns and beams. But that is not actually advisable, because as you know, the concrete needs at least 28 days to attain its full strength. So before attaining the full strength, they are doing the hacking work, they are making marks on it. Okay, so that will affect the strength of the concrete, it will create weak points inside the RCC structure. We don't know where it will make, but definitely it will make some areas weak, because they are making small hacking small points on it with a chisel. So when they are applying the pressure on it, it will definitely make some weak points there. So in order to avoid that, we always we should always go for the bonding agent. We don't need to do the hacking. Instead of doing the hacking, you just calculate the cost of the labor for that. So for applying the bonding agent, there is a bonding agent to avoid this hacking. We have to apply the bonding agent and then just apply the plaster. When you look into the strength of the RCC member, it is advisable, don't go for hacking, always use the bonding agent and then go for this plastering. Bonding agents, there are a lot of bonding agents available in the market. I don't want to tell the names of it, you can refer it in the net. But instead of hacking, don't allow them to hack the area, because that is the usual procedure that we are all following in the site. But nowadays this is the better application of plastering, especially in RCC area. Go for the bonding agent. So I will come with a more detailed video only on gypsum plaster, means how we are making the gypsum plaster and what is the difference between POP and gypsum plaster, in another video. So till then, goodbye. Please subscribe my channel, like and share. Thank you very much.